Okay, let's go to our Ashley and Martin turning point for the week this week. A lot of chat about Rugby 360 and the effect that this proposed competition...
Don't pat me on the back.
and the millions of dollars that could go to players around the world, the houses that will be paid for, the Bugatti that could be sitting in the driveway, all of those things that could be going to rugby players, and whether or not this thing will get off the ground. What we know so far is that they're going head-to-head basically against European competition. So if they want to get over the line, the only way for this competition to be actually working is to be sanctioned by World Rugby. What we know is that the English clubs don't want to be interfered with. The French clubs don't want to be interfered with. They've got relationships with the English Union and the French Union, and we know from rugby history that they get what they want. We know that as Southern Hemisphere people, that in the most part they get what they want. So the chances of this league getting everything it needs, including sanctioning, seems very, very slim. Sports washing is a big term as to whether or not this is the thing that's happening with this league. We've seen the IPL, we've seen Live Golf come in and mix things up. But if you can't get a hold of test players, and the South Africans have come out and said that unless this thing is sanctioned, no one who's playing in this league will be playing for the Springboks at the next World Cup.
That almost was a killer.
Yeah, that is a
big statement.
That was putting it right down. It seems very unlikely. So if this thing is going to happen, we're looking at NRL players, we're looking at retired test players, and there'll probably be a few Springboks after the World Cup who have, possibly won 3 and looking to move on, and guys who are coming to the end of their careers to have a crack. And Brynner, that seems to be a really good place for opportunity for players in general. It's those guys who will get a crack at the end of their careers.
The first thing you touched on, Ross, it needs to be sanctioned. So I think it's like great on paper in terms of you do think about the money that has kind of been talked about, and you'd be stupid not to be able to try and think about it and talk to your agent saying, hey, what would this look like if this does get sanctioned? But I think until all that kind of stuff does get over the line, I think players will be able to be a little bit just looking from the distance and saying, no, I hope it does happen. Because look, I think you look at Liv and the astronomical amount of money that was put into it, and the guys like your Brooks Koepka, your Bryson DeChambeau, and being able to leave and being able to set up their families of what, the money that was given. So there's a lot of hurdles, I believe, Drip, that are happening in and around it possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I know as much as you know, to be fair, but I think the one thing they're going to need to overcome is trust, in terms of the players can trust what they're signing up to. And at the moment, there's just so many things to still work out, from what I understand, that I don't think you're going to see a genuine movement of the game's greatest stars. And I think if you look at IPL, you need that bang factor straight away.
If it does get sanctioned, then I think it's all on in terms of being able.
There's no doubt, Bryn.
Then being able to go then you'll see. You're talking about.
It's great. It's great for players.
Yeah, for players like commercialism, being able to then, I guess, grow the brand of the product, being able to be the competition. If that gets then woof.
It would probably move rugby more towards your NRLs and your cricket models, where international rugby isn't the focal point. And I think they're definitely probably looking to break into that American market, which everyone says is the sleeping giant. But to break into that, you're going to need glitz and glam, and it's going to. And I know they've probably got the finances for that, but the game, some potential innovation around rules and laws and all that sort of stuff comes with it.
People, you've triggered me. People always talk about the American market, and whether it's cricket or rugby or whatever, you triggered me. They have enough.
Yeah, I know.
They love their enough.
I know, but this is
so difficult to actually make a play in that market.
They are saying that's what they want to do. They want certain teams based there.
And there is a World Cup in America.
There is.
So
there is. But they still don't like rugby.
They still don't love rugby.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So who knows?
When you look at the way that cricketers did it, and they had a similar kind of concept with stars going over and playing, a lot of them are retired stars. What they did is they aimed at the Indian audiences in all of the major cities, and the people who turned up were these passionate Indian expats who came along and watched. I don't know whether rugby is going to be able to attract that same kind of thing to make it work around the United States, World Cup or not. I always laugh at that.
Where would you take it? Where would you take it?
Where would I take it?
Where would you take it?
Well, you've got to take it to places where you know that a crowd's going to turn up. Like you mentioned that football thing. you know, people are turning up to watch Ronaldo for a couple of weeks, and then after that, let's move on. Like, you've got to know that you're going to the south of France. You've got to know that you're going to Johannesburg. You've got to know that you're going to rugby places to get your basis. You can't build an audience in a place that doesn't know the game with players they've never heard of.
By the sounds, that's the only option they have. That's an ambition of this league, is that sleeping giant, which is non-existent for you.
Because that giant's not asleep. That giant is awake and doing all sorts of other things.
It's got NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball. But it's going to be interesting. I think it's more a watch this space than panic stations at the moment.
Yeah. You know, in terms of like being able to travel the world and being able to take the brand of rugby to different parts and different hotspots in the
America.
It would be fantastic.
Don't trigger him.
Sorry. Get me going.
Trigger him. Canada. We'll go to
Canada. Toronto.
I mean, I'd love the day that a person in Connecticut has got a Bryn Hall signature.
Oh, imagine it.
You know,
he gets absolutely nothing for. I have to pay for him. I'd have to pay him. I would sign. I would pay him. There you go, mate. Take that for you. It's $5 for you. There you go.